guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Snow Country by Yasunari Kawabata. Snow Country, I believe, is Kawabata's first novel to be published. Earlier this year, I read this book and I have some thoughts. After reading it, I kind of know the reasons why that this book was highly acclaimed, but I'm also conflicted about those feelings because I did not enjoy this book. Well, I kind of appreciated stuff about the book, but overall, I didn't actually like it. And it pains me because I thought that I would actually really like this book considering what it was about. So without further ado, we'll just get straight into what this story is about. We are basically following our main protagonist, Shimamura. He's a wealthy man from Tokyo, and he occasionally comes every now and then to the hot springs of a snowy countryside to just get away from city life, and there he meets a local geisha where he kind of forms a relationship with. This geisha's name is Komako, and she deals with her own sort of problems as well as trying, or should I say more wishing, that she could have a better life with Shimamura. I guess that is the simple premise. Yeah, there isn't much to it, is there? I don't know why this is a prize winner. I don't know why this is even considered a love story. Our main protagonist is so detached from, it feels like, human emotions. I mean, he does have emotions, I suppose, but even though there's supposed to be some sort of relationship forming between Shimamura and what's her name? I'm already forgetting the geisha's name. There are actually two women in this book that he comes across with and forms a bond, I suppose, with. I honestly couldn't differentiate between the two girls. They were written so poorly and just so, I don't know, uninteresting, and that is just so unfortunate, I suppose, because I thought that we would have a real emotional connection or would feel some sort of sympathy for the characters, and honestly the characters were the worst part of the story. The general plot of the story is very simple. It's a man going to the countryside to get away from city life and encounters two beautiful women there, and he kind of has this sort of love affair, I suppose. It could have been such a simple, beautiful story. It's set in a very isolating area of Japan, and what I can actually compliment Kawabata on, and probably the reason why he has been so acclaimed as an author, is his writing style. He has a lyrical way of writing his words. He has these beautiful prose that just are so, I guess, iconic and quotable. Because you're so bored by the story, it kind of becomes a little redundant. But I guess the only redeeming thing that I took away from this story is the writing style, and especially when he is kind of looking at the vast and, I don't know, lonely landscape of this snowy country. It was just really beautiful. He really knows how to put words together and really make it feel beautiful and emotional and just inspiring, I suppose. Yeah, like I said, the characters are so poorly written. Shimamura, for example, he is such an unlikable character to me. He's emotionally detached, of course, that's one thing. And second of all, I was reading through this, I got quite a fair bit in before realizing that Shimamura had a wife and child back at home in Tokyo, and so whenever he comes to these hot springs, he has this sort of affair with these geishas. Komako is the geisha that he has this kind of love affair with. He is quite attached to, or should I say the geisha is attached to Shimamura. Komako could have been such an interesting character. You could tell that she is in despair, she is so lonely, and there are hints where she does have like alcohol abuse going on. She's always like barging into Shimamura's room at odd hours of the day or night and trying to gain affection from him, or like asking the reason why she's being rejected, because he does ask for a different geisha whenever she comes because he's just not really into her. It's weird because he kind of sees her more like a friend but also is intimate with her, so I'm kind of like confused. I get so mad about him because he kind of objectifies these women. The name for the other geisha, her name is called Yoko. His character had no impression on me whatsoever. So forgettable. And between Yoko and, oh gosh, what's her name? Komako. Like I said, you couldn't really tell the difference between Yoko and Komako. Oh gosh, fly. They were pretty much indifferent to me and I feel so sad. The main character was very unlikable, very emotionally detached. He was very dull and uninteresting to me. And on top of that, the way he viewed women was very distasteful and unlikable, and I just felt no sympathy or no feelings towards him. And it's unfortunate because I reckon Komako, who was the geisha that was so desperately wanting Shimamura's affection, there are themes of like sadness and loneliness, kind of depressing themes I suppose throughout the book, and I could have felt more for Komako as a person. I definitely thought that her inner turmoil, although it's viewed from Shimamura's point of view, hence why it felt very boring and uninteresting because he was so detached from her on an emotional level. Maybe if it was from Komako's point of view, it could have been a lot more interesting. Even though you're observing as a reader from Shimamura's point of view, you could tell that she was struggling really hard. She's in this country town, she's a geisha who came into this job, I guess, to support and provide for someone else, but ended up being stuck in this profession. You can tell that she felt very desperate to leave this situation. You could tell that she really felt like Shimamura was her kind of escape to a better life. Obviously, that's probably not going to happen, and it's kind of depressing to see that it's kind of a hopeless wanting. And she's also going down through this spiral of depression and loneliness and alcoholism, and just it was really depressing and sad to witness. But unfortunately, her character was not fleshed out. You could tell that she was struggling, but you felt nothing for her. Just in the way characters were written, they were very stilted. We couldn't relate at all, and I kind of felt sorry for her. Kawabata did her dirty. And also Yoko is another geisha on the side. She's a beautiful woman and there's nothing much to her besides that, which is also very sad. I think these two women could have been a lot more fleshed out. If it was from Komako's point of view, I definitely think that this could have been a more interesting story. Besides that, like I said, beautiful writing, lyrical prose. The way Kawabata writes is stunning. I guess those are my main points to this book. Like, I have not much to say besides the fact that I didn't really enjoy this, which was unfortunate because I think I was hyping up this book a lot more in my head because it's such an acclaimed novel in Japan. And also the themes, it kind of felt like it was going to be this emotional journey. I thought it was going to be sad and moving, but I just felt nothing. The downfall of this book to me was the characters. Unrelatable, didn't care for them, and I kind of wanted more from them. Also, the main character was completely unlikable. I don't know, I just felt so much anger or disgust, I suppose, towards the main character because of the way he viewed these women. Like, they were only there to please him and he didn't care about what they were going through, and he just liked them because they looked pretty and they could pleasure him, and then that was it. And I was just so furious with this character. I definitely think that he could have crafted a more engaging story. The only thing going for it was the writing style, and that was it. And I think there needs to be more than just lyrical prose to a book to make it an excellent read. There needs to be more depth with characters. I could definitely gauge that he did try to explore more emotional themes like sadness and loneliness. He kind of reflected that upon the landscape and the nature of where the character was, and it was beautiful. However, I think where he lacks is the characters. You feel nothing for the characters, and if you're not connecting to the characters, I think that's the biggest downfall when it comes to storytelling. I do own 2 more books by Kawabata. I'm hoping that I feel more investment, I suppose, and I hope that I end up enjoying his other books, because otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do. I felt so betrayed that I didn't end up liking this book. Maybe my expectations were just too high, but yeah, unfortunately I didn't like this book, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. So have you guys read Snow Country? Did you enjoy it? If you gleaned something else from that book, please let me know, because I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was timing. All I can say is that I appreciate the beautiful writing technique that Kawabata has, but otherwise, not the book for me. Snow Country, not the book for me. Yeah. Like I said, if you have any other thoughts, please comment below and let me know what you think of Snow Country. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Have a good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time of day it is while you're watching this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!